Anyway, tried doing this and I went like 15 minutes and it's way too fucking long for this type of video. So anyways, the ammo box artwork and what we have, and you can see there's a big P written on on the box, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is the Australian Outback in 308, and those are loaded with 165 grain Sierra Game Kings. So one cool thing about this box is the artwork. I mean, they definitely went all out and got a picture of a kangaroo just chilling, and a kangaroo was like, fuck this, I'm out. Right next to the windmill is what it is. Super cool. And that's what the end of the box looks like. And, you know, it is what it is. And then it gives them a little description of what makes Australian Outback such an awesome ammo. And the same thing there. And they got this little diagram here on the back. So apparently, with their their bullet blends, their powder blends that they came up with, it has what they call ballistic temperature independence. So in other words, regardless of temperature range, this is your standard factory ammo from 125 degrees to 11 inches low at 5 degrees, so you're 7 inches high. And then with the Australian Outback, you're 1 inch high at 125 degrees and 1 inch low at 5 degrees. So it's quite a substantial difference in tighter grouping, and that's with the rifle zeroed at 70 degrees and a shot at 600 yards. It would have been nice to actually see you know, what they had the rifle zeroed at. But anyway, couldn't really go wrong, and this is what the ammo looks like. And the reason for that P is I went and hand polished the brass because it was a little kind of junky. I don't know if the distributor that I got it from, if they had a moisture issue with where the ammo was being stored, or when this was being imported, if it had gotten wet or so on and so forth. But it is an extremely accurate factory load. So I picked up 5 boxes of this just to have 100 rounds for $13 a pop for 308, especially loaded with Sierra. You're not going to touch that for that price. Obviously, that was my cost. But I do have 2 boxes left. So out of 60 rounds, I only had 1 issue. And I wish I kept the casings I'd show you. But it was the 3rd shot, and I went to eject, and the bolt would come up, but it, you know, it wouldn't come back. So it would cam over, but it wouldn't unlock. So that was a nightmare. That ended the range day after about 15 minutes of shooting. And finally got it home, got the bolt out, got the casing out, and lo and behold, the primer was flush and pushed right out into the casing. The only time that you should get that is if you have overloaded a hand load per the spec of the caliber and the cartridge. The next stop would be to either destroy the casing or to blow the primer right out of the back. In this case, it just flattened it right to the casing. It is what it is. It's a factory load. I'm not too familiar with how strict of quality controls that this company has when they load, so I'm not going to hold it against them. I just thought it was really cool. However, I cannot find the Australian Outback in 308 anymore, but just the 223. And those were going for $9 a box, and I see they're up to $13. So you're getting 223 for the same price that I was picking up the 308s. Is what it is. Got it. More than enough. 223 and 556. So I'm not worrying about it. I'm not going to get them. But real quick on this guy. The video that I did before with how do you carry when you hunt, I had my full-size R1 with the Pacmar grips on it. So this guy here is the Remington R1 Carry Commander, and this 1911, even the frame, was made 100% in Alien when the custom shop was still involved with this guy here. Not to get into a huge history lesson on Remington, but the 1911 line is down now in the Alabama plant, and the custom shop, I want to say going on either 5 years? It's got to be 5 years, or going on 6 years, is no longer at the original Remington Arms plant in Ely, New York. That got sent out to North Dakota, South Dakota, one of the Dakotas, I didn't really pay too much attention, is what it is. However, you can see these little beauties here, and I like a classic look. Maybe I'm old school. But the half-checkered cherry wood grip panels on this, phenomenal. Now, I've got 7 rounds through this gun. And then after those 7 rounds, because I wanted to see how this gun shot. 7 rounds, brought it home, broke it completely down, cleaned through everything else, oiled, and right there, goes right back in its box, and it still has all the original paperwork and everything else that it came with. But I'm a little pissed off. This 1911 from Remington is far from a cheap 1911. You're upwards. I've seen it for $12.99, and I've seen it go up to $13.50. So either way, you're over $1,000 for this 1911. I didn't pay that for this gun, but if you were to go and buy it today, chances are, well, actually, more than likely than this, you find somebody that has the carry commander and the serial number is RH and then goes into the numerical sequence. And yes, that gun was made in Ilion, but chances are you're getting one that's made in Alabama. It's not going to be one from Ilion when the line was still in New York. But can you get a better 1911 for that price? I'm not going to be a douche, be like, no, this is the best one you can get for the price. No, absolutely. You can definitely get a better 1911, maybe. Well, I can't say better. Let me explain to you why I keep saying, well, you can get a better 1911. Okay, for that price range, you want to do a grip swap. You want to do the Pachmayr, like I've got on my full size, where it's got the rubber finger grooves that go around the front strap, and then your wood inlay with the rubber insert that would take up, you know, this area. So for, like, on the grip panel, like it to have the rubber insert right there. Everybody knows it's not rocket science switching out grips on a 1911. You back out the screws, and you've got your insets, your bushings, whatever you want to call it. The grip panel screws. We'll just go grip panel screws, because I'm not going to be technical today. But they are screwed into the frame. They should stay there. No, not the case. They all came out with the grip panels. So let's take a look and see if this will focus. Come on, you bitch. Yeah, right there. Where the little shiny spot is, you can actually see it really good. Right there. Oh, threads, just incomplete cut. Same thing on this one. Threads incomplete and cut. This is the best one out of the 4, and it doesn't look like anything's wrong with it, but it still came out. Oh, the Dandy. What in the fuck is this? Still has the same cut, but it's nice and polished. No threads. And somehow, for the high-end 1911, that was acceptable during assembly. Was, you know, I could say, oh, the gun was made on Monday, the gun was made on Friday. Or maybe some fucking crackhead decided, hey, I'm gonna put this together, we'll ship it out. Whatever, it's ridiculous, it's stupid. But anyway, pain in the balls. Now, it's something extra that I've got to take care of. Disappointed. As far as the gun itself, and I can't even give an honest opinion, only having 7 rounds through this. My full-size R1, it's 1911. You're not going to really get too in-depth with it. It hits where I'm pointing it. This does have the match-grade barrel, 4 1/4 inch, the match-grade bushing, the Novak low-pro rear, and the tritium front. I liked it. My idea was, I've got the full size, I'm going to have the carry commander. I had an option to get the last production run 1911s, but at that time is when I actually had to have my knee surgery. So I guess you could say my last production run, 1911, is now my left knee. Yay! I gotta get my priorities straight. I should have bought the damn gun, since the surgeon fucked it up even more than what it was. But anyway, I digress. That is what it is. This video is 2 minutes shorter than the original one. So again, box art, Australian Outback. Something else that I got to deal with. I will have a set of all stainless Wilson Combat coming in, and that'll be a project for next weekend, since they will be arriving Friday and I will not be here. So until then, take it easy. Or if anybody else has any other issues that they found, if they've got a 1911 with a different manufacturer and have found the same issue, do a video, let me know. I don't know, maybe it'd make me feel better if it wasn't just from a Remington, because I had the same issue with my R1 full size too, and those have Wilson Combats in it. So much for keeping it original and not going through the hassle to have it shipped down to Alabama. I know how it's made outside of those. I'm not going to fuck with it or have it come back being a shitty gun. So with that said, I got shit to do. Video's been long enough. I'll catch you guys later.